Hi everybody! Welcome to our 13.2 notes. In case you're wondering where they are on your note packets, it's at the very last page of the chapter 11 notes. For 13.2, we're actually not even doing the whole section, we're just doing the part on circles. So if you have watched the Pearson video and it talks about ellipses, we're not doing ellipses, we're just focusing on circles, okay? So if you guys remember from section 10.3, we did circles a little while ago. And the regular format for circles is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where h and k tell you the center of your circle, and r squared lets you know where the radius is. The radius is r. Okay? So first example I have here is x plus 3 squared plus y plus 5 squared equals 25. First off, let's just find the center and find the radius, okay? So for the center, the x value of your center is the opposite of what you see inside the parenthesis here. So instead of positive 3, the x-coordinate of our center is negative 3. And for the y value, it's the same idea. It'll be exactly the opposite of what you see inside the parenthesis with the y. Instead of positive 5, our y-coordinate is negative 5. Okay, so our center is at negative 3, negative 5. To find your radius, you're going to take the square root of r squared, so we'll take the square root of 25. So the square root of 25 would be 5. And using that information, you can graph it. So my center is at negative 3, negative 5. My radius is 5, so what I'm going to do is go 5 each easy direction. So 5 to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that gives me 4 nice easy points. Try your best if you're sketching these out to make a circle and not a diamond. In my math lab, there is a circle tool that'll help you, okay? And that's how you graph a circle. So using that information, what happens if we're in standard form? Well, we get to complete the square again to find our center and radius. Okay, so it's another application for completing the square. It's something else that we can use it for. So to complete the square, first thing I'm going to do is just get my x's together, get my y's together, and get set up and ready to complete the square. So my x's, I have x squared plus 6x. I'm just going to do a little plus blank so that I know that I'm completing the square. Let's get the y's together. So I'll have a plus y squared and a minus 4y. And again, I'm going to have a plus blank because I'm completing the square. And this time, with that minus 51, you can move it to the other side. We do want a constant number on the other side. So I'm going to add 51 to both sides and say that it equals 51. Okay. Then we can complete the square. So completing the square for the x's, my middle term is a 6x. So I'm going to focus on the 6. Half of 6 is 3, and 3 squared is 9. So that's what I'm going to add to complete the square. And if I'm going to add 9 on the left side, I should definitely add 9 on the right side to balance things out. In the y's, my middle term is a negative 4y, so I'm going to focus on that negative 4. Half of negative 4 is negative 2, and negative 2 squared is positive 4. So that's what I'm going to add to complete the square. And again, if I added 4 on the left side, I should probably add 4 on the right side so that it stays nice and balanced, okay? Then I'm ready to factor. So just focusing on this x part right here. How does that one factor? That would be x plus 3 squared. And again, remember that the square root of x squared is x. The square root of 9 is 3. And we keep the same sign as the middle term. Okay, plus. Let's look at the y's. So I've got y squared minus 4y plus 4. How does that one factor? Well, I'm going to have y. I'm going to have a minus. And the square root of 4 is 2. So I'm going to have y minus 2 squared. Okay. Let's go ahead and add everything up over here. 51 plus 9 is 60. 60 plus 4 would be 64. Okay, so now I'm finally in center radius form. Hooray! Okay. So then we can find our center, we can find our radius, and we can graph it. Okay. So the center for this one, the x-coordinate is going to be the opposite of what you see inside of the x parentheses. So instead of positive 3, it'll be negative 3. The y-coordinate is going to be exactly the opposite of what you see inside the y parentheses. So instead of negative 2, it's positive 2. For the radius, I'm going to take the square root of my r squared. So the square root of 64 is 8. Okay. Now that I have that information, I can graph it. So my center is at negative 3, 2. So put a little point here for the center. My radius is 8, so what I'm going to do is go 8 in each direction. So to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. To the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ran out of space a little bit. Apparently it'll be at negative 11, 2, in case you're curious. Let's see, we can go up 8. 2 plus 8 is 10. We can go down 8 to minus 8 would be negative 6. Okay, now that we kind of have the four corners of our circle, let's connect it to make a nice smooth curve. Okay, there's our circle. Alright, last one. We've got a 2x squared and a 2y squared. What do? Divide. That's what you're going to do. If you notice, in center radius form, it doesn't have an a or a b or anything in front of the x squared or the y squared. It's just a plain old x. It's just a plain old y. So if you ever have a coefficient in front of your x squared or your y squared, please divide it, okay? In a circle, they should at least be the same if you have one at all, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide everything on both sides of my equation by 2. Then I will get x squared plus y squared plus 10x plus 8y plus 1 equals 0. Okay? I want to give you guys a chance to try one. So I'm going to give you guys a minute. Go ahead and pause your video. See if you guys can get this into center radius form. Okay, so pause your video and I will show you the center radius form in 3, 2, 1. Alright, center radius form for this one should be x plus 5 squared plus y plus 4 squared equals 40. Alright, so the center for this one, you guys could probably do that. But the center for this one would be negative 5, negative 4. The radius for this one is the square root of 40, which isn't very pretty. It's not a perfect square. You can certainly simplify it. So 40 is 4 times 10. And just breaking all of that down, we do have a pair of 2's that we could take out. So the radius, the exact radius would be 2 square root of 10. So if you need the exact radius, that would be it in simplified form. If you're actually graphing it like we're about to do, you probably want a decimal. So if you type in the square root of 40 in your calculator, you're going to get about 6.3, so that we can at least graph it. You ready? Let's start with our center at negative 5, negative 4. Here's negative 5, negative 4. And then I'm going to go about 6.3 in each direction. So to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and not quite to halfway. To the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and again, here's 6 and a little bit more. I'll go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a little bit more for the 0.3. And I'll go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a little bit more. And connect all of my dots in a nice smooth curve to form a circle. And that's it. Okay. So hopefully this helps. The main idea with 13.2 is you guys should be able to go from standard form to a center radius form. And then from that center radius form, identify your center, identify your radius, and graph a circle. Okay? Good luck, everybody. Hope you all have a wonderful week. Let me know if you have any questions or need any help with anything, okay? Have a great week.